good, everybody? What's good? What's good? What's good? Um, it's a course of Leviathan Prophecy, and today's video is about the NFC East and who I think will win first, second, third, and obviously last place. Um, to be honest with you, it's a tough one. The NFC East is that division where they beat up on everybody. Nobody can easily nobody can actually run away with this division. The Cowboys might be 3-4, the Eagles might be 5-2, the Commanders might be 1-3, the Giants might be 3-3. You know what I'm saying? But by week 10, everybody's going to be evenly matched up. You know what I'm saying? And they don't win the division until the end of the week, which is week 17 or 18. But I will pick my four. I will pick my four teams that will finish either first, second, third, or fourth. Okay. So number one, obviously, there's no brain. I'm putting the Eagles until somebody could dethrone them. I think the Eagles are just getting better each and every year. We did face them twice in the regular season. We got blitzed bad, but not really blitzed, but we got manhandled on both games. I believe the second game, Daniel Jones wasn't playing in that game. So I think we had Jake Fromm. I think that was his name. If that was not it, then I think we probably had Tyrod Taylor. But we got beaten twice. One with Daniel Jones, the other one without Daniel Jones. And then when it came to the playoffs, they just manhandled us. So I'm gonna put them at number one. The Eagles, they're just gonna continue to get better. I don't see a decrease by them. I don't see any drop, any significant drop by them. I know a lot of people can say, well, they're gonna crumble because of the Super Bowl hangover. I think that's if you win the Super Bowl. I mean, if you make it to the Super Bowl and you lose. Obviously we saw, Cincinnati, take a step back a little bit last year. But again, the Eagles are just too loaded. Number 3, I'm going to put the Dallas Cowboys. No, actually, I'm going to put the Commanders. I think the Commanders are going to surprise a lot of people this year. Knowing that they kick off the season against the team that everybody thinks is going to tank for a quarterback, which next year is going to be quarterback heavy. The Washington Commanders are going to shock everybody now that they have a new quarterback again. And how I think they're going to shock everybody this year. They have the defense. Their defense is not really that bad. Chase Young is coming back. So I think he's going to have a chip on his shoulder to prove that he was that pick for them. They got a very good duo in a running back with Robinson and I forgot the other, Gibson. And then they got a very good secondary. Okay. Number 3, I'm going to put the Dallas Cowboys. And the reason why I put the Dallas Cowboys on number 3 is because I think the Dallas Cowboys, yet like the Eagles, is somewhat close. They have a good secondary. They picked up Stephen Gilmore. They have one of the Trey Dig brothers. You know what I'm saying? They have an elite pass rush in Parsons. They have an elite edge rusher in Lawrence. They have the quarterback, they have the running game, they have the passing game. They're a complete team. What's getting in their way? Maybe it's Dak Prescott. Who knows? Dak Prescott needs to take that upper level and say, you know what? Okay, you brought in Trey Lance. It's a wake-up call, you know. I got to get my act together. I'm 30 years old. Trey Lance is in his prime, well, in his, youth years. You know what I'm saying? He's 24, 25 years old. I got to get my act together, or I could be in, or I could be at the end of the employment line. You know what I'm saying? So I think Dak is going to have a very big chip on his shoulder this year. He has at least, in order for Dak to keep his job, he's going to have to at least push the Cowboys to the NFC East Championship. If he could do that, I think his job is safe. But if they crumble again, then a trade is going to have to be made, Because I think Jerry Jones made the same mistake with Tony Romo, Like, he kept on keeping him and keeping him and keeping him. He kept on believing in him, believing him. What happened? They put weapons around him. You can't say that Tony Romo didn't have good weapons around him. He had a good running game in DeMarco Murray. He had a good passing game in Des Bryant. He had a good defense. What held him back? Big time games. He crumbled. So, yeah. And sadly, I'm going to put the Giants at number 4. Listen, look. I know a lot of fans on YouTube and on Facebook. I was just on Facebook. I get ridiculed a lot. Oh, you're a fake Giants fan. Oh, you're not a real Giants fan. When it comes to me, I'm a Knicks fan at first. Okay? I'm a Knicks fan at first. My Giants will always come second. Because I was born and raised in Brooklyn, New York. Like, we watched nothing but the Knicks. It was just me and my other brother. My other brother and my other 2 sisters, they wasn't really involved in sports like that. So, we were big, huge Knicks fans growing up, But as years went on and time went on, my other brother slowly disliked basketball, He's not in tune into it like he used to, you know what I'm saying? But he would always get my takes here and there, like, oh, I really like your team is heading in the right direction, and this and that. But when it comes to the Giants will always come second. However, I believe the Giants will take a little bit of a step back. Number 1, continuity. Number 2, familiarity. Number 3, chemistry. Okay? Those are the only 3 reasons why the Giants will get held back this year. First off, none of the acquisitions that the Giants got had any significant playing time in the preseason. Okay? I know you got to play a lot of people. You got to play the rookies. You got to play the undrafted players. I understand that. You got to play the players that you signed. So that's not enough. That's why 4 preseason games is a must. Like, you have to have 4 preseason games to actually evaluate all the talent that you have. All the players that you have. What the hell are you going to do with 3 preseason games? How the hell are you going to get the most out of every single person that you got on that roster if you just have 3 preseason games? You have to rotate around, okay, 1 preseason game, whether you lose or win or tie, which I don't get why the NFL still have ties, but whether you lose or win, you have to rotate the next game. Win, lose, tie, you have to rotate the next game. Win, lose, tie, you have to rotate the next game. Okay? You're not going to get the satisfaction of getting all those guys say, you know what, I like him, or I like him, or I like him. This guy stands out. You can't do that because you have the less preseason games. The less preseason games you got, it's hard. So you're going to let go of some players that may not shine and then go somewhere else and then they shine. It's just, oh damn, we should have hold on to them, or we should have put them on the practice squad, such and such. You know what I'm saying? So lack of chemistry can fold a team. Darren Waller has never played with Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones has never played with Darren Waller. So everybody's thinking, oh, this is the year that the Giants are going to finally air it out. You know, like, know your personnel. You know, you're going up against, the Giants are going up against a Dallas Cowboys secondary who's no joke. They got two good edge rush. No, they got two good corners. One good edge rusher and one good linebacker. And Van Der Esch is not a really bad linebacker as well. So they're pretty much loaded on defense. You know, the Giants' offense may not be clicking. It might take a few games for them to click. They might not click the first game. It might probably take the Arizona Cardinals for them to click. I wouldn't be shocked if the Giants score 45 points on the Arizona Cardinals because they're that damn bad. You know, Arizona's retooling. They're rebuilding. You know, they have a new GM, new head coach. So I can see the Giants actually putting up 40, 37 points on them. You know what I'm saying? While the Cowboys, you're not going to be able to do that because of the personnel. They have a very good secondary. They have a very good defense. Their defense bends, but it don't break. Okay? So know your personnel. Know who you're going up against. You know? But on top of that, like I said before, chemistry goes a long way. Like if Darren Waller and Daniel Jones started all the 3 preseason games, I'm not saying for them to start every single preseason game from start to finish. Just give them a few drives. You know, we only see Daniel Jones with 1 preseason game, and you expect Daniel Jones and Waller just to have chemistry right off the top. No, it doesn't work that way. You know, it really doesn't. You know. So it's gonna take them a few games, or it might probably take them the Arizona Cardinal game to click, you know? Like I could see Darren Waller having a subpar game, you know, 3 catches for like, I don't know, 24, 25 yards, 35 yards, you know, a no-show, like where is all this talk about, you know, Darren Waller, this and that? Like I said, know your personnel. You're going up against the Cowboys. The Cowboys defense are no joke. The Dallas Cowboys defense is not the Arizona Cardinals defense, okay? So you can't really do the things that you want to do against the Cowboys. Kind of like how Daniel Jones was just slicing the dice in the Vikings defense. How come he couldn't do that against the Eagles? Why? Because the Eagles had very good personnel. You know? My coach always told me that a bad defense will make you look good, but a good defense will make you look like a fool. If you're going up against a bad defense, it's just bad, can't stop a cold word for nothing, it's going to make you look like Joe Montana. But if you're facing a good defense like they did against the Eagles in the playoffs, boy, you're going to be looking like you're facing the '05 Ravens defense all over again. And you saw how that Ravens defense manhandled the Giants. Only held them to 7 points. You know? So know your personnel, know who you're going up against, you know? Because obviously the Arizona Cardinals are tanking. Everywhere I go is like the Cardinals are trying to tank. Even though they got Murray, they don't really believe in Murray because they got 4 or 5 other quarterbacks in the draft that they can groom and develop, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, it is what it is. But, you know, those are my 4 rankings. I got the Eagles, I got the Commanders, the Cowboys, and the Giants finishing last place. But the Giants will bounce back next year. The Giants will bounce back next year and go from there. But again, with all these new toys that Daniel Jones got, it's gonna take him a year to get them, acclimated. Come back the next following year, you know what I'm saying? Boom, take off. You know what I'm saying? But this year they're gonna take a little step back, just a little bit, you know. But like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think. Who's your favorite team in NFC East? Or it don't really have to be the NFC East. It can be, you know, any division. To be honest with you, like, comment, subscribe. Until next time, take care of yourself and each other.